Chris Level here with another edition of Pirate Talk. Yes, it's a football helmet. We couldn't put a singlet there. Sorry, our budget constraints. You know, we've got the Christmas garland and all those things. But Pirate wrestling coach Joseph Rios is with me today. Producer Colton Coons behind the camera, as always, taking care of us. I am Chris Level. Okay, so wrestling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we enjoyed visiting with you this lovely show of ours with you last year. It's an education. I think this is a sport that is, I think really blossoming and I think growing in popularity. The attendance numbers show that. The view counts on these YouTube videos show it as well, folks. I think what's fascinating is like the middle school wrestling meets are very well attended and spicy and all these things. So, so for the novice that's out there, whenever I'm a new wrestler into your program, what are you teaching? Like what's the hey, coach, I'm here to wrestle. I've never done it before because most of these kids haven't.
Yes, sir.
What are we teaching? Like, I mean, and dumb it down.
Okay, so
layman's terms for
away,
for myself, not for our audience. Our audience is very intelligent.
Right away, takedowns. That's the go-to for me. Shots. You'll probably hear them called. So shots. That is a takedown. A high crotch or a double leg.
Okay.
So a high crotch or a high C, you'd probably hear it. It's just exactly what the name is. That's usually what wrestling names are, just simple for people to know or remember and know what it is. Head and arm, you grab the head and the arm. High crotch, you shoot high in the crotch. It's a single leg. That's usually my go-to. I'm teaching you how to take somebody down because every match starts on your feet, starts neutral.
Okay.
And so quickly we try to get them going on that and then teach them some of the fundamentals. Like I had football kids come in. Teddy Cook, shout out to Teddy Cook. I sent him to a varsity tournament on 2 days of practice.
Okay.
I was teaching him how to line up on the top-bottom position at Randall in our warm-up. And so he was willing and ready to go out there and compete, and he did. So, that's kind of what we're doing. Teaching somebody how to take them down. And then it's kind of natural. That's what a lot of people don't understand.
Just leverage and like, just how to get somebody on the ground.
Yeah, and it's primal. Most of the people that you come in and you do it, and it's like,
oh man, that's a big word.
Yes,
primal. Okay.
And so the average Joe or the person not willing to step on the mat and try it, they're so afraid of it. But as soon as I get somebody on the mat, they're like, I can do this, or this feels normal. And so you kind of just watch, see. Some people have better spatial awareness, body awareness. Our athletes,
Yeah.
But
and is the scary part for them is that it's just mano a mano and you're afraid to lose? Is that
Correct.
like the hang up? Is that is there no teammate out there? It's just me and you, and it's like, and I think and I get it. I mean, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to go out there and like get taken down. I mean, that's what you're trying to battle, and it's not everybody's going to be undefeated, and
correct.
There's going to be things that stronger, bigger, better, more experience that you're going to go against. How do you deal with the psychology of that?
I try to take as much pressure as I can off of them. Just go out, compete, have fun.
Okay.
Right? Don't think about all the other things. Don't think about all of your family in the stands. Don't think about your friends in the stands. Don't think about the winner or the loss either, because that really freezes people up. But try to tell them those things, and I tell them, Coach Rios is never going to be mad at you for losing.
Okay.
I'll be upset with your
I like
effort.
it. He went third person. Okay. See, this is next level podcasting right here, folks. Yeah. Okay.
I'll be upset with your effort. I'll be upset with you not attempting a takedown, not attempting any of our technique, and you just sitting there, whining or whatever the case is. If you do those things, then I'll be upset. But if you go out there and wrestle your butt off and you lose, okay, awesome. Let's learn from it. What do we need to do? But if you show me nothing, then it's hard for us to learn. It's hard for us to figure out what we need to do.
Weight classes, how many do we have?
14 boys, 12 girls. For the boys, as small as 106 pounds all the way up to 285 pounds. and the girls as small as 100 pounds all the way up to 235.
Okay. Heavyweight to what's the lightest one called? Flyweight.
They don't even. Yeah,
They don't even name it.
Heavyweight's just a heavyweight. Yeah.
Okay, and then they just because it's like boxers and all that. How many athletes are in our program?
76, 75 around there.
How many boys versus girls?
Girls are lighter. I only have 26 this year. I didn't really get
not in the record books. They're not, folks. Not in the record books.
Yes, sir.
We'll get to that in a minute, but yeah.
But about 25 girls, and then the rest are boys.
Okay.
And that's, speaking of middle schools, that's where I'm learning. Like this year, I got like volleyball girls wrestling. I got cheerleaders wrestling, all the things. So, my biggest focus is like, let's get those 8th graders coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, come out of your other sport, come into our sport, and let's keep the ball rolling. Let's just not stop. Let's not only do it in middle school, because a lot of them are willing to try it in middle school, but they just didn't come over in high school for whatever reason, maybe. But try to keep that feeding, keep the pipeline. Right.
I got you. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's all about building a program.
Yep. Yes, sir.
And sustaining. Schedule-wise, this is fascinating to me. It's still confusing. I'm learning still about this process, but like this is a two-semester sport, and you've got so many matches they can compete in that you spread out over 2 semesters. Basically, the finale of this of what you're aiming toward, it all focuses on early to mid-February. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then we work backwards.
Yep.
On getting all these. Is it a match or a meet?
Either one.
Okay. See. Okay. Okay, not gonna double crotch me or take me down or anything like that for using the wrong term, or pops, or what'd you call them? Shots. Yeah, shots.
Yes,
sorry. I'm learning my terms,
yeah,
all those things. Okay, so take me through how busy, because right now we're before Christmas ish, before the break and everything like that. You're about to hit it hard and heavy, and then there's this mandatory break.
Yes, sir.
And then you're going to hit, when the school resumes and all that, you hit it hot and heavy, gearing up to mid-February. What does the fall semester look like for your teams? You're waiting for volleyball and football and all the other sports to kind of end. When do you start? How much have you already done? Take me through that real quick.
So we start, it's basically year-round.
Okay.
As soon as the season ends, your next season starts. That's there's a lot of wrestling cliches that people say, but yeah, so if you lose that district, your next season started. What are you going to do to get to regionals next year or things like that? But so we try to continue throughout the year. A lot of these kids go to club. A lot of them wrestled in national tournaments over the summer.
Which that's not school related. But
yes,
that's,
sir.
Yeah, gotcha.
Correct.
Yeah,
and so they're continuing to compete. Like most of the best wrestlers in the state, more or less wrestle year round. And so you kind of gotta time it well, have that slow, steady climb, so that when we get to the first week of February, we're peaking, we're getting to that peak. But we've had, I think, close to 10 duels. We've hit 2 tournaments now, and so
a duel versus a tournament, for those that aren't super familiar, explain it in layman's terms. Like what is the difference between a duel and a tournament? And
so
all those things.
If we're a duel or a try or a quad, which for the most part it's never just a duel, it's never just one team versus one team, because it's kind of a waste. You only get one match.
Okay.
So there's always a try or a quad, and that's team versus team you're wrestling, right? So from, like I said, the lightest weight class to the heaviest weight class, each guy will step on the mat across from the other, and they'll wrestle, see who wins. And depending upon the finish, whether it's by points, by a tech fall, which is like a run roll, or by a pin.
Baseball term, run roll. I like that. You see, yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So, or by a pin will determine how many points you scored for your team.
So in a way, it's like a track meet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, we've had, like, the girls have wrestled, and I couldn't tell you, but it's like close to 10. They're undefeated. They haven't lost one duel, right? Our team versus any other
Numbers
team.
are light, not the record. I told you. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so on the boys' side, it doesn't show the same picture, but we're competing very well. like, football is in session, all the other things, you have holes in your lineup. So it's called a scratch in wrestling. So if it's my team versus your team and I don't have a 106, I don't have a 113, then I'm starting the duel. You have 12 points, I have 0. So scratch is the same as a pin,
Okay.
essentially.
Okay.
So, 14 weight classes, you're already starting out 12 points ahead.
Okay.
And so if my kids aren't getting pins and we're winning by points, essentially that's only 3 points for our team. If I beat you 2-1, that's 3 points to our team.
Okay.
Right? So it could be a challenge for the most part to start with holes in the lineup. And so for the most part, boys have been 4 holes in the lineup.
Okay.
But the scores don't show it. We've competed well with our team that we show up with. I think head-to-head, we've probably won most duels.
Okay.
Right? If we didn't count the scratches.
Okay.
So they're competing good as well.
And you've been, I know you've had some home matches / meets. You've been in Canyon.
Yes, sir.
I think there was an Estacado trip.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to be in the Metroplex, I think, here in the coming days.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes,
okay.
sir. So we went to the Matador Classic, and so we got and that's where I didn't explain a tournament. But for the tournament, first time in history, the boys won the tournament as a team. So it's kind of same concept, but instead of like we're on one mat, my team versus your team, we all enter in the tournament as an individual.
Okay.
But still, how we win determines how many points we score for our team. And so first time in program history, the boys won the tournament. And we still didn't have a whole team. I didn't have a 132.
Is there a chance that you just don't have a whole team throughout the deal, or that you just can't find the right one that fits that
Now
weight?
we should be good. We should be good. So I got basically every weight. And so sometimes kids are wrestling up a weight class. Like I have a 106 who's wrestling at 113.
Okay.
But, I preached to the kids since day one. I saw all my freshmen once football season ended, and it's like, you can wrestle a 18-year-old senior. You got to be ready to go. And so just preaching to them to stay ready. Anytime your number's going to be called. And yeah.
When we're training for this in practice, obviously you're working on technique and leverage and all these different things. Are we like weightlifting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is that how much cardio is involved? Because this is like boxing.
Yep.
In a way, in that these are rounds, and
Yes,
you're exerting a lot of energy in a very quick time frame. And so how much cardio versus how much like strength are you trying to, like, how do you balance that? What's more important to both, obviously, but
Correct.
Take me through what your mindset is. Okay, this is what I want my team to be, like the most in shape, or the strongest, or I don't know.
Shape is probably the best thing in wrestling. You have to have it. The strength will disappear in the third period.
Okay.
And so
But how much energy do you have? And
correct.
How much, okay.
And so it's it is a balance. We were lifting 3 times a week preseason. Now we're down to 2. Same thing with cardio, 2 times a week. And then now we're kind of 1-ish, depending on the week, 1 or 2. So we keep that balance. And then ultimately, like the wrestling cliches, like you get in wrestling shape from wrestling. So it ultimately comes down to practice. How is the practice ran? And then really, what effort do you give in the practice? So sweat equity. I was just talking to my kids about that the other day. So, all 25 girls, all 40 plus boys, you can go through the same practice, but I can look at your shirt and I can tell you who worked harder. And so it kind of goes like that, right? I got kids that to the T do everything I tell them and give me 100%. Then we go out in the tournament, they're not bent over in the third period. We're taking care of business, and then the other guy looks like that. So just depends. But wrestling, of course, top of the pyramid. That we got to make sure we have good wrestling practices, and you push yourself to the point where you think you can't go anymore, and then you still got a lot more left in you.
Fatigue makes cowards of us all, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
sir.
That's the way it works. How many like when you go to one of these meets, and how many matches could a kid participate in any given day if they are doing well?
So if you got a big tournament you can wrestle as far as 6, including the championship.
Okay.
So you can only wrestle
that's
6.
max. Okay,
Yes, sir.
gotcha.
6
Okay.
is the maximum.
Take me through. Let's spotlight some of these kids.
Okay.
I've asked you about Jackson Sewell. I know him from a football standpoint. He's come over and he's trying to give this thing a go. Zoe Bennett, I know, does a really good job for you. But yeah, you've got a lot of stud females that are operating in your program here that have been on the podium quite a bit. Yeah,
Yes,
take me through that.
So, I'm not a fan of the rankings, but
Okay.
they just came out, I think, the other day, and it's more my parents and more of the kids, and they're showing me this and that or whatever. But, as a person who was ranked 1 in the state twice.
Humble brag there.
Well, see, listen, wait.
Mic drop. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
So I was ranked 1 multiple times, but I do not have a state championship.
Okay, gotcha.
So
So that kind of sums up your point.
correct,
Yeah.
right? And in wrestling, it can all be gone like that.
Okay.
So, we're in first place by 2 times the amount as the second place team, which it's good. I like it. But so basically, from top to bottom, we are.
And you're talking about the girls on this?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you got 107, Tylee Ramos. I think she's 5th in the state of Texas now. She's a freshman.
Okay.
That's Silco's little sister.
Okay.
And so, basically, you beat a state ranked kid, you get in the rankings. That's kind of how it works. So at 107, we've done it. 114, we've done it. 120, we've done it. 130, 126, Zoe Bennett. 132, Cameron Flores has done it. From top to bottom, we're all state ranked top 20. Yeah, like I said, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like I said, I was 1 and I don't have a state championship.
Has this surprised you? Like in a way, is this like happening because wrestling's still fairly new at Lubbock Cooper? Is the success on the state level and and again, it's all about winning a championship. I know that, but still, there's some success being had here. Has this surprised you, or no?
Yes and no.
Okay, both. Okay.
I think I'm very blessed, very favored. I've been told that since I was a young kid, and I just have I'm good at coaching wrestling, and that's just a favor from God that I can see things very well and I can teach it very well, and I got a good group of kids that, they buy in to what I'm preaching. They do all the things that I ask of them, and so it's starting to show, and it shows quicker on the girls' side. That's one thing I mess with my boys a lot, but in girls wrestling, it can show quicker because girls wrestling is a little bit more behind than the boys.
Okay.
And so we're coming around this year for sure on the boys' side, but I know it's something that I prayed for. I wanted to represent Lubbock since I wrestled. Wrestling's never been in the news. They've never, and I'll just speak from our perspective. You got the number 1 team in the state. We're doubling up by 2 points. If that was a football team, if that was a basketball team,
I totally get
it'd be like, this school's doing this, and they did it in 3 years. Can you believe this football team's doing that? Can you believe this basketball team's doing that? And I get it because it's hard to understand the points. It's hard to understand these things. But something that I've wanted to do for a long time since I was in high school. When I was ranked number 1 in the state, where was the news people? Where was all the things, right? And so, which that stuff that I'm learning now as a coach only helps get a kid to the next level, right? And so we had Tarleton State come to our school on Sunday to come recruit our kids, the Lubbock area kids. And it was nice. It's just a good feeling. I was almost in tears the other day when the Tarleton coach texted me and said some things about our program and said some things about our girls. And just answered prayers. And I feel, it feels good. It feels really good. The sacrifice, the work, it's paying off. So
how many colleges have? Because I've got a youngster that goes to Oklahoma State. Mm-hmm. It's very big at Oklahoma State, but they just have boys wrestling. Yep. And it's like the arena is sold out on a Friday night. The whole deal. But how many colleges and next level for boys and girls are there from a wrestling standpoint? We can just go with the state of Texas.
Oh, so in Texas, not as many. So like Tarleton, they're going to be the
I know it's
first.
a big Midwestern, right? Iowa's always good, and
Yes.
Iowa State and Oklahoma State and all right there in the Midwest is very big.
So for Texas, Tarleton will be the first D1 program.
Oh wow, okay.
So that's why it was a big deal, right? Yeah. So they have to fundraise a certain amount of money, which I'm hearing they're very close, and it's gonna happen. So this first year that they come out, they're gonna have to be a club team, and they should already meet their fundraising numbers, and then the next year they're D1.
Okay.
So to have them come over to our place, little old Lubbock, it meant a lot. So as far outside of that, there's a lot of.
It's more like little old Stephenville.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
they were talking about that too. Like some in Tarleton, they don't even have a high school who has wrestling.
It's fascinating.
So yes,
they decided to add it. Yeah.
Correct. I mean, they were willing to, which is nice. I'll support Tarleton forever.
Yeah.
Raiders didn't want it. UT didn't want it.
Yeah.
I think Texas State might have been close,
Okay.
but they went. Yeah, I don't know why they ended up going with Tarleton too. But
And you have an event coming up early next week.
Yes, sir.
That is like there's a lot of pomp and circumstance. I don't know if there's a smoke machine or a strobe light or anything, but it's close. But you put a lot of effort into this one and make it a big deal.
Yes.
And you refer to it as like this is your senior night.
Yes,
is
sir.
that kind of deal? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take me through the bells and whistles that come with this, because you had a lot of fun with this last year, and I think a lot of people were receptive to it. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm in. We're doing this again.
yes, sir. So it's just another one of those things that I saw colleges doing it at the D1 level, and I'm like, man, I wish we could do that here for our kids, get that experience. So I have a buddy who used to wrestle at the same wrestling club as me, MR3 Entertainment. Shout out to him. Robert Rios. He's not related, but he set it up for us. Got everything done. And it looked really good, right? And so I did a bad job of advertising it last year, but this works perfect. We can get this spread out. December,
Timing, yes.
December 18th.
Yeah.
Be at Lubbock Cooper High School main gym. You won't want to miss it. If you've never seen a wrestling event, it'll be a good one to see. Walkout songs, the lights. Aaron Baxter's going to be there taking some awesome pictures for us.
Yeah.
But so I just reached out to him. I knew he had the setup. He does it for concerts and all those things. And he was like, man, I'll do it. I'll do it. Easy. And then when he did it, he's like, every year, let me know. And so I said, hey, we're looking at December 18th, Monday. This was back in August. He said, yeah, I already told you yes. It's like, okay, awesome. So, yeah, it'd be nice. I just wanted to give the kids something, and they loved it. All the kids talk about it, and that was like the first thing they asked when they saw the schedule. Are we still doing, like, it's a quad, because last year it was only a dual.
Okay.
It was actually only a dual. And so this one's a quad. And they're like, are we still doing it, Coach? Why is it a quad? And I was like, yeah, we'll be in our main gym with our one mat, and then we'll have the other mat in the double gym. And so the team that we're wrestling will be in there, and then we'll rotate through. That's kind of the way it'll work. Yes, sir.
How long, like, when you begin, like, okay, bell time, that's a pro wrestling term, but bell time is what time, and how long will an event like this last? Are we talking 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.? Are we talking 7 to 8:30? I mean, like, how long does it take to cycle through everything, even though there's things going on at the same time? But how long does one last?
So 5 to 9 is a good guess.
Okay. Yeah, I figured it would be a guess.
Yeah. That's pretty close. It all depends on the matches.
Okay.
Right. And so now with it being a quad, the next duel can't start until the other duel finishes. Okay. So you get fast pins, fast matches, then we're ready to go to the next one. But you got to make sure the other guys in the other gym are doing the same. But each match can last as long as 6 minutes in regulation. And then you can go OT for a minute, then a double OT, 30 seconds, and then a ride or die, 30 seconds.
Mention some of your boys real quick before
Okay.
we move on to some other things and we get you out of here. But yeah, take me through some of the guys you're excited about or kind of really progressing and all that.
So we got Jaden Montoya at 106. He's, I think, 19 in the state right now. We got our twins, Jordan and Jaden, at 20 and 26. Luke Rangel, 138. Gavin Cisneros at 144. I'm looking for him to make a big break here soon. He's coming to it. Derek at 150. Gabe at 175. He's 17-0 right
Gabe.
now. Gabriel Ordonez.
Okay.
He is the machine.
Okay. Yes, UFC term. Yeah, there you go.
He's that's what the guys call him now. He just doesn't stop.
Okay.
So he's the only guy on the team undefeated right now.
Motor.
At
Okay.
17-0. Then we got Ryder Haddon at heavyweight.
Offensive lineman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then, heck, we got a freshman 215, Wyatt Schaaf, who's probably gonna do well. So yeah, those are some of those guys that will do well. Jordan is a state qualifier, returning state qualifier. So we should do well.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Before I let you out of here, we're on the cusp of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get to know Coach Rios a little
Oh
bit
man,
better.
all right.
Favorite Christmas carol? I'm putting you on the spot. I know.
Oh,
but, you know,
I don't even know.
let little people get to know you a little bit. Favorite Christmas carol?
I couldn't tell you really. Like
Favorite Christmas movie?
Movie. Man, my daughter has been watching The Grinch every
Is this
day.
the Jim Carrey version?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's a
She
good one.
loves it.
What does okay, seriously, we're sitting on Santa's lap, we're Coach Rios, we're an adult, we're a coach and all that, but you would want what for Christmas? What's on your Christmas list?
That's funny.
Like, what are you telling your kids and your wife? Like, hey, Dad really wants
So I just had this conversation with my wife last night.
Okay.
And
Well, let us know. We're curious.
I told her to switch for my daughter,
Okay.
but for me.
Oh, okay. This is like video game deal.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay. Nintendo
I used
Switch,
to be
yeah.
a big gaming guy, but
Okay.
daughter born 4 years ago, sold it.
Life changes a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And but we all that's what the term retro is, because we always kind of cycle back
There we go.
to our roots
There
and
we
all
go.
that. So yeah, you're kind of cycling back to your okay, favorite Christmas tradition at the Rio household. Like, what is like, okay, we're dropping what we're doing. This is very important to me. Do we baking something? Are we sitting down as a family doing this? Are we, we're going to cook this? We're going to get out in the car and go see Christmas. I mean, I don't know. What is it? What's like the one thing that's a yearly?
We didn't really have many traditions.
Okay.
Honestly, but something that my wife does. We travel to Plains to go see her grandparents, and then we go to church with them
Okay.
on Christmas Eve. That's something I like.
So
Just family time.
A candlelight service.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Christmas Eve. Okay.
The family time's a big thing. We always get together. I think that's what I enjoy. I enjoy
yeah.
that, getting together
When
with
life
the family.
stops a little bit,
Yes.
slows down. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all
It's
busy,
nice.
and that's
especially now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because this is, we were talking about that before we turned the camera on, but this is just such a busy time of the year for anybody involved in athletics. Everything's happening at the same
Yes.
time on top of each other, and it's like, it can be wild and overwhelming, but, you do get a break.
Yes,
like
sir.
mandatory for your kids do, you do, and all that stuff, and that's a good thing to kind of just stop and hit the pause button a little bit. Well, okay, so we're in the Metroplex this weekend, and you're telling me that we're going to come right back on a Monday, so Metroplex, and then the Sunday off, and then Monday, and then we got lights and cameras and strobe
and
lights
rolling.
and the smoke machine and music, and if Coach Rios could have a walk-up song, it would be, I let you off the hook with a Christmas Carol. I refuse to let you out of here without telling me your walk-up song would be.
God Had Other Plans by Zonti. I like that one.
Okay, I'm gonna trust that's like a jam. That's
Yeah,
like a
it
banger.
is.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, got it, man. Okay, and we can follow your program. Twitter account is
LCP Wrestling.
at LCP
Yes, sir.
Wrestling. Okay, make sure if you want to follow Coach Rios' program, and all that, Sports U, obviously for you parents out there, but then at LCP Wrestling, that's where
I'll
you'll
try
get
to
a
do
lot
better.
of
Try to do better on Twitter.
And it's it's part of it. We're all trying to do better. Trust me.
sir.
Trust me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, keep doing your thing, man. More shots. For
More takedowns. Yeah, there
you
we go.
For
There we go.
For his team, boys, girls, all that good stuff. Enjoyed it as always. Busy time. Hopefully your kids stay healthy. They stay
Yes,
in
sir.
shape, and
Yes, sir.
maybe there's some state championships in the future, because
sir.
rankings don't matter.
There
but
you
they
go.
do. They're fun, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All right.
Sir, thank
For
you,
Chris
guys.
Level, for Coach Rios, for Colton Coons behind the camera, this has been another edition of Pirate Talk.